creeping on young girls, trying to damage people's bars. He's trying to act like he's a gangster when he grew up in a billionaire's block, basically. His family was rich. He blamed his dad for his issues when his dad was not in the picture because of Sandra. Sandra, his mom, had a fight with Drake's dad, and Drake blamed his dad for everything. But meanwhile, his dad wanted to be in Drake's life, but Sandra wouldn't let him. So Drake's dad is a popular jazz singer and jazz player from the States. And when Drake found out that his mom pinned his dad against him, he, in the early careers of his stage, decided to diss his mom. And then when he dissed his mom tried saying that he was wrong for dissing him because, like, they didn't know what was going on. And then Drake later came to sign with Lil Wayne. And when Drake signed with Lil Wayne, that's when all this pedophile shit became worse.
What?
Because Drake started it with Kamika. Kamika was his first victim. Kamal tried
Allegedly.
Yes, exactly. And Kamal actually tried filing a police report, but there was not enough evidence at the time because Kamika didn't cooperate.
So it is victims.
Yes, there's multiple victims. There's Kamika. I only know of two. There's Kamika, and then there was Cassandra's little sister, Tanya, who Tanya is.
Any way you could get in contact with them?
Yeah, I could. It's just gonna take a bit because they're always doing stuff. So I had to call their mom, and their mom is really good friends with me. So I can get in contact with them, but it's gonna take a while because I kind of stopped talking to people from Toronto when I left there because I left Toronto on bad terms because I used to be into crime.
So let me ask you this. It been a lot of Canadians coming to me talking about Drake and Weeknd beefing, and it's damn. Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, my shit was glitching out or something. I had to restart it. What's up with this Drake? What's up with this OVO EXO shit?
So from what I understand, the Weeknd, Drake wanted to sign the Weeknd, and I think it was 2011, just after the Weeknd started to pop off. And the Weeknd back then had issues because Drake wanted an unfair contract. He wanted to do basically a 360 with the Weeknd. And when the Weeknd would not sign the 360, which means Drake would get a portion of everything the Weeknd did for 5 years, I think it wanted. When the Weeknd wouldn't do that, Drake said okay, and then he signed Party Next Door over the Weeknd because the Party Next Door agreed to the 360 contract, and the Weeknd did not. So then, ever since then, the Weeknd's been at Drake's heel basically because they both grew up in the same area of Toronto. They both grew up in a very rich area. Except the only thing is, I see your fans saying that the Weeknd's like that he's about that life. He's not. The Weeknd has people around him that are like that, but the Weeknd, when he lived in Toronto, was never into crime. He was a pill popper. He popped a lot of pills, and he had to go to rehab a bunch of times, but he never shot nobody. He never robbed nobody. Neither did Drake. They both grew up kind of similar lifestyles, very well off compared to most of us Canadians. And the Weeknd did not want to sign a 360 deal with Drake, so that's why they started fighting. And then as the years go on, Drake signs more people, like Party Next Door and Baka Not Nice and all these people, and the Weeknd kind of got caught up in an issue that was not meant to be this big. But they're both not gangsters. The Weeknd has never shot nobody. He'll never ever do that because he's not stupid. And every time in Toronto that the Weeknd or Drake had someone he shot, it's because they paid people in their circle. Because the Weeknd was affiliated when he lived in Toronto with Bloods. I knew the Bloods that he hung out with. He hung out with the Melbourne Blood Crew. It's a very bad blood set in Toronto.
Wait. Hold on. Before we go, are you safe doing that?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't live in Toronto no more. I live down.
So you go. All right, yeah, fuck it. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. All right.
So the Weeknd grew up with the Melbourne Blood Crew. The Melbourne Blood Crew in Scarborough has a very high kill ratio. They have shot many people. They are very well known in the city of Scarborough, and they are known to beef with three different sets: Danzig, Galloway, and Pelham. Pelham is both Blood and Crip. Drake was friends with Danzig and Pelham. So ever since the two of them started, I don't know if you call the Weeknd a rapper. Ever since they popped off, they already had beef because they grew up around different gang sets, and Drake is now like 17 years later, siding with the racist Hells Angels and asking them for protection because the Weeknd is getting his bloods to shoot at Drake's house. So the whole situation that happened in Canada recently with Drake's house, Drake called up the head of the Scarborough Hells Angels Club and says, "Hey, I'll pay you to protect me." And now Drake's under fire for that in Canada.
You know what's crazy? They said that the Hell's Angel nigga was the leader, and it's how still somebody still got shot after because Drake put it in the video. So
Yep.
it seemed like whoever on Drake ass, they on his ass, and ain't nothing nobody could really do nothing about.
And that could only be one of two gangs in Scarborough, and because there's only two gangs in Scarborough that have that kind of power. That's Melbourne and Pelham. Pelham is the biggest gang set in Scarborough, and Melbourne is the most vicious. Picture like Crips and Pyrus and Compton. The Pelham Park Bloods and Crips are the biggest, but the Melbourne Bloods are the most ruthless and vicious. They are the type that they will walk down the street and shoot you in front of a police station and walk off. I've seen Melbourne Bloods go into, like, I've seen a 16-year-old named Daryl in 2012. He was a Melbourne Blood. His dad was a cop. His dad was on duty. He takes his dad's shotgun, goes
Hey,
into
they
a
said
corner.
Pelham is not in Scarborough.
It is. It's right beside Danzig, and it's right across from Galloway. I grew up in that area.
Oh, so you know what the fuck you talking about? They don't
Yes,
know
I
what the
do.
fuck.
And I actually have friends that are still hustling down there. And Daryl took a shotgun from his dad while his dad was on duty because his dad was a cop, went into a Galloway corner store and shot someone in the face.
Hey, bro, they keep saying no, it's not. They keep saying Pelham is not in Scarborough.
It is because if you go to Scarborough, Scarborough has 1.6 million people. 1.6 million people. And it is considered to be the gang capital of Toronto. Google Danzig and Galloway, and then go towards west. Google Galloway. If you Google Galloway, you'll find it. I
Wait,
have a
Galloway, Toronto?
Galloway's in Scarborough. It's part of Toronto. Yes, it's a crib
So
set.
Gal so Galloway, Scarborough?
Yeah, but it's considered a crib set. It starts on 4301 Kingston Road, and it goes all the way down to the east side. Galloway boys are very big, but they're not dangerous.
And
Google
what they trying to say, hold on, what did they say? That Parham is not what?
Pelham is blood, Galloway is crip, Danzig is crip, Pelham is also blood and crip. I have I have people in all those areas. I have a Jamaican guy who lives in Pelham. He'll tell you that it's a blood and a crip set.
Oh,
I
this
have
dude said right here, this dude said, hold on. This dude said Galloway is Scarborough East End, Pelham is West End. You lying.
no Scarborough. He's partially right. He's partially right. Galloway is east, but it stretches to the west because it starts on 4301 Kingston Road. But then it goes to the west because if you could literally take two buses. My friend Herbert does this all the time. You could take two buses to go from Galloway to Pelham.
So at
Pelham
the
is
end of the day, they just being petty for real. They know what you talking about. Man, shut y'all bitch ass up, man. Y'all know this nigga talking something though.
no
They
Pelham is not as big of a threat as Melbourne, but Melbourne is the type that they will shoot you in broad daylight and then they'll walk off. And the Weeknd
So is he capping
associated.
about that? So is he capping about that? He being technical. Steven is right. Man, you putting your family in danger. He don't give a fuck. So shut y'all bitch ass up. Obviously, he don't give a fuck. That nigga with the shit. Tell him. Tell him,
And
Steven,
and
you with the
and,
shit.
and to be honest, if you go down, Old Western Road, you'll get to the blood side of where I'm talking about. But the Scarborough side, Scarborough is the gang capital of Toronto. So most of Toronto's gangs are stretch from Scarborough to Vaughan, which is where you would get Jane and Finch, Driftwood, you would get stuff like that. You would get Driftwood and Jane and Finch and Vaughan. But you would get the most of the Bloods and the Crips are among the Scarborough crew. And Drake.
So basically you telling me that the weekend is plugged in with the most vicious niggas.
Yes, very much so. Very
And
much so.
Drake is plugged in with the deepest niggas.
Yes.
But the weekend niggas do shit like what just happened in Toronto.
Exactly.
They pull up and they shooting.
Exactly, because Melbourne is a smaller set, so they feel they have more to prove. When I grew up in Toronto, I remember I could.
So what about the area? What about the area where Drake shooting happened? Do shootings happen over there?
Not very often, no. Not very often. That is why I'm telling you, that is a rich neighborhood, and you can expect that eventually, when they get enough details, because they will, something's gonna come of that. That either the person who shot someone on that in Bridle Path is gonna get arrested, or they're gonna give out somebody who the weekend worked with. Because shootings don't just happen down there. It's like the Gold Coast of Chicago. When the O Block 6 got arrested for shooting Duck on the Gold Coast, what happened? The feds picked it up right away. Bridle Path is a multi-million-dollar neighborhood, and I'll be surprised if this goes unpunished. I'll be very surprised if the cops are not already looking into trying to find out who did this, because Bridle Path is one of Toronto's richest neighborhoods.
So do people in Canada know Drake lied about all this shit?
They know, they've been knowing Drake's been lying for years. This is not the first lie Drake told. If you remember the song Started from the Bottom, okay, do you remember the song Started from the Bottom?
Yeah.
That was not Drake's song originally. There was an underground rapper. There's an underground rapper that was trying to come up, and he's like, hey, Drake's from my city. I don't own copyright to the song. I just wrote it. I will give it to Drake to promote and shout me out. So Drake took the song from the underground rapper, switched up a few words, and said that he started from the bottom. When the underground rapper that's made that song said, no, I gave you that song to promote me and to shout me out so I can get a name. And then Drake made millions of dollars off of that song, never shouted the guy out, never promoted it as a future, and he made millions of dollars off that song. And then ever since then, his image in Toronto has been stained. Then he took one of my friends, Pressa, out of country, flew him to England.
Pressa,
yep.
I'm hip to Pressa. Okay, go ahead.
So when Pressa was into a federal kidnapping and he was being investigated for a federal kidnapping and torture charge, Drake let him fly on his plane to England to do a show. Then Pressa came back, surrendered himself, fought the case, ended up fighting it and winning. And then Drake also said on live, hey, Top 5 is my known shooter. He is my hitman. And then shortly after Drake said that, Top 5 was arrested for murder. Every person Drake shouted out saying, hey, I have real people that will shoot you, they either end up dead or in jail. And Pressa was lucky he got off on the federal kidnapping charge because his father was an original OG from the Driftwood Crips. And Top 5 is from one of Toronto's most psychotic neighborhoods, Jungle, which is not too far away from where I grew up. And when Drake said on camera with Top 5 in the video, this is my shooter, it put a target on Top 5's back. Now Top 5 is in the Etobicoke Supermax jail fighting a murder.
So y'all don't fuck with that nigga up there?
Not very many of us, no. And another person who I could say who Drake screwed over was, okay, so I don't know if you know the story about Drake and Chris Brown's fight in the bar. Have you heard about that over Rihanna?
Explain it. No, I don't.
So in the early 2010s, when Chris Brown had just blackened Rihanna's face and bruised her up, Drake was angry, rightfully so, because he grew up respecting women for the most part, and he beat Chris Brown and did over $330,000 worth of damage between the both of them to a high-class bar in the States, and he was sued for that. And when he got sued for that, he instantly played the victim. So he played the victim and made the bar owner of that $330,000 bar in the States pay the fine because he's like, oh, I was the victim. I was defending myself. When he took a beer bottle and smashed Chris Brown on the head and threw tables and stuff and broke shit. So Drake is always
Wait. Drake did that?
yeah. When him and Chris Brown fought because Drake confronted him about when he beated Rihanna. When he beat Rihanna and he got and Chris Brown, everyone was against Chris Brown. Drake's like, oh, I'm going to use this opportunity because I'm fucking Rihanna now, and I'm going to go after him. So Drake couldn't wait for the situation to die down, and then he went after Rihanna and started hitting up Rihanna in her DMs, and then he beat Chris Brown and did a $330,000 worth of damage in a high class bar, and he made the owner of the bar pay because his rich crew says no. We did this because Chris Brown struck first, when meanwhile Drake was on camera hitting Chris Brown in the head with a beer bottle. So there's a
Oh
pattern
my
that I want you
lord.
to know,
This
King
shit is crazy.
AK-47. There's a pattern I want you to know. Everywhere Drake goes is either he's flirting with minors, he's destroying property, or he's getting people arrested. He does it in Toronto. He does it in the States. He does it in England. When he took Pressa and Pressa came back to Canada, Pressa was arrested by our federal police, the RCMP, and he was held because he was considered to be a flight risk. And Pressa was fighting that case for 2 years, and Drake did not put up a single penny to help him. And Drake still, to this day, up until Top 5 got convicted about a year and a half ago, Drake did not put up any money for Top 5's lawyers. He's like, no,
Hey,
you
somebody
got
said
arrested.
who is Noemi? Somebody said who is Naomi Sharon or something. And this is the thing I want to ask. So a lot of people been saying Drake be up there fucking niggas' girlfriends and shit. Now, everybody know about the Lil Wayne shit, but is it true he was cool with Pressa? Do you remember when, after Pressa went to jail, they was trying to say Drake was trying to fuck with Coy LeRae? What? Coy LeRae fucking with Pressa?
Coy LeRae dated Pressa, yes,
So
but Coy
Coy LeRae
LeRae,
dated Pressa, Pressa go to jail, and Drake flirting with Coy LeRae.
correct.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. This is a pattern. It didn't just start with Bobby Altoff. It did not just start with this Jeffrey Epstein case. It did not just start with the hotel. It's been going on since 2008, and I've known a few of Drake's victims that he's done this to. Now, other than Kamika and Tanya, I'm not going to throw any other names under the bus just because I don't want their families coming after me. But there has been not just
Oh,
girls.
so wait, you ain't worried about the other families this well known with them people where you could talk about it?
For the most part, yes, I can't disclose everything because there are some people that are still trying to launch investigations into it. And that's why Drake is kind of on the back burner right now. And that's why he went to his rich CEO executive, Lucien Grange. And I will give you a hint at something that happened 9 years ago almost. Kendrick Lamar threw a sneak diss 9 years ago on a track called Mad City at Drake, but it was a subliminal. He's like, uh, remember how Kendrick Lamar said he wants to see Drake dead?
Right.
Well, in Mad City, he's like, I made an oath to see you bleeding. So Kendrick Lamar on Mad City, almost 9 years ago, made a song called, and he talked about wanting to kill Drake. He's like, you better, if you think you're wise sleeping with the tech, you better go grab a chopper and a vest, because I made an oath to see you bleeding. And I just put the pieces together today because I heard the song very closely.
Right.
Nobody knew up until now when Kendrick said that I want to see you dead for this pedophile shit. Nobody knew that in Mad City, which was almost a decade old, that he was hinted at wanting to kill Drake back then. And Kendrick Lamar on Mad City also.
What could it be because of that 100 track with you know that no you want with the game? They said
Yeah,
that was the Kendrick diss.
it very well could be because Drake has been known, and especially up here in Canada, Drake has been known to start things and then act like he's a victim. He's been known to do that. Like that's what he's doing right now. He knows that Kendrick Lamar was right with the hotel thing and with the pedophile thing,
Yeah,
and
he know it
he's
because
playing the
he
video.
know it, bro. He know it. This is crazy. All this we talk about is alleged. Nobody can't sue me. I don't give a damn. But we over here, we cooking, baby. Y'all make sure y'all get them likes up, man. And this exclusive content, man. What y'all doing? Run the super chat up, y'all. Run the cash app up. Show me some love, y'all. What y'all got going on? Y'all
And
show
I will
everybody else love when it come to me. Go ahead and cook, bro.
and I will also throw another thing out there. Well, during the time of 2012 to 2014, when Drake was being influenced by his mom about his dad, he made a video called Worst Behavior. And in that video, he is holding a child, like a baby, close to his mouth. Close to his mouth, he's holding a baby, and he's swearing and cursing and talking about shooting people.